But theory doesn't have to be difficult. Let me show you.
Please.
Okay? How many people practice in all keys? Raise your hand high. Be proud. Keep your hand up. How many keys? Oh, no, I can't ask Lucas. That's Bob's son. All right? Okay. How many keys are there? Say it. 12. Good answer, but wrong. How many keys? You were about to say 12, right? That was my answer. Who's going? Keep your hand up if you have an answer different from 12. What's the answer? 24 is logical, more logical than 12 because there's majors and minors. So we would double it. Makes sense, right? Still wrong. Okay? Don't guess. Tell me if you know. One is not a good answer. But now we're trying to be clever. What's the answer? 30 is the answer. 8 years ago. We're having our very first theory camp. 2010, Nashville got hit with a huge flood. It was like the flood of a lifetime. I had to take all the students to my house, basically. We ended up having theory with Bob and Anthony at my house, right? Candlelight, electricity went out. But Anthony Wellington asked the students, how many people practice in all keys? Now, I'm the teacher. My name's on the camp. So I'm sitting in the back. I'm cool. I don't raise my hand. Of course I practice in all keys. I'm Victor Wooten. Right? So people raise their hand, but I'm cool. I don't. And he says, well, how many keys are there? In my head, I say 12. Dummy, you know, why are you asking stupid? He says, how do you say you practice in all keys if you're missing 18 of them? I went, 18? And he said, well, you got to think. There's major keys and there's minor keys. And I went, oh, 24. And he's like, oh, but I was doing all this in my head. Other people were doing it out loud. And I was so glad I kept quiet because people didn't know. I didn't know either. Okay, yeah. Every major key has a relative minor, right? Yeah. Most of us don't realize that we only have major and minor keys. That's it. Dorian is not a key. It's a mode.
True.
Right? Harmonic minor is a scale, not a key. Keys are only major or minor. That simplifies it already. Yeah. Let's figure out how many major keys there are, and then we'll just double the answer for the total, which we already know. How many major keys have no sharps or no flats? How many? One. Somebody keep track. There's one. We can have a key with one sharp, a major key we're talking about. We can have a major key with one sharp. We can have a major key with two sharps. Up to how many sharps? 7. So there's 7 major keys. One that's neither. What are we up to so far? 8. Let's keep going. We can have a major key with one flat. We can have a major key with 2 flats. Up to how many flats? 7. So we have 7 flat keys, 7 sharp keys, 1 that's neither, for a total of how many major keys? 15. That's not rocket science. That's second grade knowledge. It should be. Double it for a total of 30 keys. My man is right. Right? You could have figured that out on your own. This is what my friend Anthony Wellington showed me at my own camp. That's why I hired him, so I can take their classes.
That's why you kept the camp going, so you could keep learning about shit.
You know what? Absolutely right. I was taking a bunch of nature classes, and because of touring, I would sign up for nature class. I love the outdoors. I'd pay my deposit, and then a tour would come up, and I'd lose my deposit and have to miss the camp. So I decided in the late 90s, I'm gonna make my own camp. I'm gonna bring the world's best instructors, and I'm not going to miss it this time. I'm not going to lose my deposit, and I'm going to take their classes. And that's how I've gotten better at theory. And I found out that theory is easy. It's not hard. One more, can I?
Oh, please, 2 more.
How many sharps are in A major? 3. How many flats are in A flat major? Okay. What does that add up to?
7.
7. Second grade, okay? A major, 3 sharps, A flat major, 4 flats. Only add. Don't do any more theory. Only add. If G major has 1 sharp, how many flats does G flat major have? 6. It adds up to 7. Ah, the light bulb's going off, right? Remember what Einstein said? If you can't explain it simply, all right, it's that easy. How many flats are in E flat major? 3. So that means how many sharps are in E major? Bingo. You don't even have to do work anymore. You got it. After all these years, exactly. After
That's good.
after semesters,
stuff.
it's easy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if G major has 1 sharp, we already now know that G flat major has 6 flats. That means G flat major only has 1 natural note. Guess what it is? It's that F that was sharp in the other key.
Yes.
Right? So if A major has 3 sharps and they're F, C, and G, guess what the 3 natural notes are in A flat major? F, C, and G. Is that hard? Could you have not learned this in the 2nd grade?
You could have, for sure.
Right? So we have taken all of music theory and dumbed it down, really smartened it up
Smarten it up.
to that simple.